Clash Royale. With Dark, our champion for tonight's semi-final match. So let's meet our first finalist. This is Dark.
2시즌 연속 결승 진출입니다. 사실 우승자가 그 다음 시즌에 바로 결승 진출.
So getting to the finals 2 seasons in a row. We've never had that before in the SSL. How do you feel after making it to the finals again, 2 seasons in a row? Dark saying, you know, every build I prepared for today, Classic just either ignored it or struck it down, so it was really a mental shock to me. So I was actually kind of considering almost giving up here because Classic is just so good. Now, I thought that it was going to be a really tough time, but that makes it so much more delightful to make it here in the end.
김도 선수의 그 올인을 정말 이 악물고 막아냈을 것 같아요. 그때 어땠어요?
So how did you feel when you were really going for that intense defense against Classic's push there in the final set? Dark says, you know, specifically during the 7th set when I killed Classic's 3rd Nexus with Banelings, that's when I thought, yeah, I finally won this game. But Classic really put his life on the line and fought back there with that push, fought very well towards the end. So talking about that Nexus kill, was that intentional, or were you just trying to go for the workers in the Nexus? Dark saying, yeah, I was actually just going for the workers, but then I realized that all the shields were down for the Nexus. So I just thought, you know what, why don't we just go for the Nexus? And he finally took it down.
저희 입장에서는 연결체의 체력이 안 보였어요.
맞아요.
계속 두들기니까 김도우 잘 막아요. 연결체가
saying that the viewers did not know how much health the Nexus have, so it was a really big shock to everyone when the Nexus finally exploded.
박영우 선수 이런 기세로 봤을 때 저는 김도우 선수가 이기기 좀 쉽지 않겠다라고 생각을 했거든요. 오기 전에는 4대1 아니면 4대0이다라고 생각을 하고.
Dark saying that, yeah, even for me too, when I came in, I thought I was going to get a 4-1 or a 4-2 victory. But once we were actually in the game, I couldn't help but feel that Classic has this expertise and this experience that just can't be ignored. So speaking about those builds, did you feel that Classic had a great read on you because he responded really, really well to pretty much everything you prepared? Dark saying, yes, specifically because of the 5th set on Apotheosis when he took down those rocks for that push with the Dark Templar, it really sort of sent chills down my spine while I was watching it.
That move will, that'll go down in history.
Live on.
That was crazy.
So how about that 6th set where he killed all those adepts with the Banelings, saying without that 6th set he wouldn't have been able to make it to the finals. So how did you feel when you won that 6th set and advanced to the final one? Dark saying that, yeah, my only thought was to make it to the 7th set, thinking that maybe Classic might take it a little slow on that 7th set because he, and I was actually really surprised because he played really hard in that 7th set. So it feels like we're getting a lot of extremely great matches in the semifinals of the SSL.
It always happens, man.
Although Kanata slightly agrees by saying that the finals were actually better. They're all good games. So Patience makes it to the final. Will Dark do something new? Dark saying, yeah, I was actually planning on bringing out something new against Classic, but apparently he didn't use all of his super secret builds, and he says that he will have to bring those out against Classic. So saying that Solar also wants the tournament very badly. And Dark saying, you know, if Solar makes it up, I think I might actually have a very tricky situation on my hands.
Oh yeah, that ZVZ. Dark is not a big fan, so I've heard.
Solar being a very good ZVZ player as well. Now finally, what would Dark like to say to all of his fans out there who cheered for him? We saw a few comments during the match saying that Dark is the legacy of the Emperor, he's the final Zerg. So what is his statement going into the finals? So, you know, Dark saying Star League is my stage. I definitely think it's time I'm going to win it. I prepared to death for today's matches, and it'll be the same for the finals. He's going to win like the Dark that he is known for. And that's going to do it for our interview tonight. Dark, very confident with a lot to live up to coming into the finals.
The series is going to go down in history. Everybody's going to remember that one. If you guys are watching it live with us, props to you. You're very cool. It was a fantastic series, a delight to cast. So much excitement going into all of those games, man. Every single one was really, really close. There was no like some weird cheese that just sneaks a game, right? There were some cheeses that failed, and some of those, but the majority of the games were very, very close and fun.
Yeah, we saw lots of like all-in attempts from Dark, and specifically his first one, I believe, in game number 2. He actually all-in like really, really hard, but then was able to macro out of it, have a long game, and eventually come out on top. Game 3, tried the all-in, and it didn't work. A nice, almost just like blind counter there with the Immortals popping out at just the right time for Classic to defend. And at that point, like Dark was saying in his interview, he just sort of feels like, oh my god, I planned all these like cool builds, and Classic just knows. He just knows. And so
he's just in his head. Yeah.
Into that 7th set, like the decision to take that advanced gold base out on Apotheosis, like that's a big move. And then for the probe to actually just be walking along with the drones as they're transferring to the hatchery, it's just like, oh no, he scouted me. It's game 7, and what do you do? But he held it, and then even after killing off Classic's Nexus, he was able to hold on against that incredibly strong Protoss push.
Every game was just like amazing, you know. We're gonna take a look at the bracket here.
So good.
And let's see. So Dark is going on to the finals. He's gonna have to face off against either Solar here or Patience. He said that he would rather face off against Patience. I'm sure I would too after defeating Classic. I think you can take Patience, but Solar, a really, really good ZVZ player, and Dark has said in the past that it's not really one of his stronger matchups. Yeah,
I want to say this is the deepest Patience has been in the SSL, so definitely not quite as prepared as either Classic or Dark might have been. So very, very exciting to see exactly what Dark can do there and who will be coming out on top next week. So we do have our second semifinal match between Patience and Solar.
So there you have it. That's kind of the story, and it's going to be an interesting one because Dark is the defending champion against the huge underdog in either Solar or Patience, because either of those guys definitely an underdog against Dark. Even Solar in the ZVZ matchup, I'd say, even though Dark is not 100%, Dark is like the defending champion. He's got crazy results. He's the final Zerg, right? All these different nicknames they're giving to him now. The spirit of the Emperor. I don't even know what they're trying to say about this guy. So it's going to be a very, very fun one. And
this is one of those stories I want like read to me before bed, like every night. It's like, oh my god, it's just so good. And if you guys thought it was good too, get out there, tell people, go back and watch the VODs. So many sick moments from like clutch holds or those rocks being sniped by Dark Templar. It's just an incredible series. So thank you so much for coming out and being a part of that with us tonight. Also next Thursday as well, more semifinal action coming in here for the SSL. And if you want to keep watching StarCraft, we've got GSL coming on tomorrow. So
lots of StarCraft.
So much StarCraft.
Yeah, not just Friday, but then the next Saturday, too, is the Pro League Finals. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be KT versus Jin Air, the highest level Pro League and StarCraft we do have here in Korea is going to be happening there. We're also going to have GSL on both Wednesday and Friday next week, as well as Thursday for Solar versus Patience. So
It is
lots
as
of great
if
StarCraft coming up.
This game is more alive than ever. So many sick games, and like I said, it's just awesome to be a part of that and share those games with you here tonight. So yeah, definitely get out there, let your friends know if you want to talk about how sick they are on Twitter, hashtag SSL. Let us know if you want to talk to us about how awesome they were. We'd love to talk to you at Rapid Casting and at Brendan Valdez, also at SpoTV_games if you want to let them know how sick their tournament is.
Yeah, so I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks you once again for joining us for that fantastic series. Want to see you tomorrow for GSL and for all the StarCraft next week as well. That's going to do it for us here on the desk. Thank you from Valdez and Rapid. We'll see you next time here at SpoTV Games for more StarCraft 2.